I remember seeing a movie poster for Small Soldiers way back in the 90's, and when I saw the poster, I was sold on seeing it. But, alas, my mom and dad told me no. There have only been 2 times in my life when I have been deeply disappointed that I've been told by my parents that I could not see a movie, and this was one of those times. But I think that in the end, they made the right decision with this one because I don't think I would have enjoyed Small Soldiers very much if I had seen it as a kid. Because seeing it now, I've made the realization that Small Soldiers was definitely not the movie that my 6-year-old self would have imagined it was going to be. In the first act of Small Soldiers, it reminded me a little bit of Toy Story, but then in the second act, it almost turned into the movie Child's Play. If I had seen this movie as a kid, I would have never wanted to see it again, probably because I would have been too scared, or because I might have thought the ending was too sad. But even as an adult, Small Soldiers really isn't that great. I think that this contained way too many adult themes, and the script was half-baked at best. As a kid, I could handle a half-baked script, but I wouldn't have been able to handle the adult themes as a kid. And another thing is that I don't think the writers knew whether or not they were writing for kids or for adults in this movie. I may be totally off base with that, but if that is the case, then one thing I really think about this movie is that it shouldn't have had the Commandos pitted against the Gorgonites. Because as a kid, I thought the Commandos were actually really cool. And as an adult, I still think the Commandos are really cool. I also think that the Gorgonites are really cool. So, what I think should have happened in Small Soldiers is that the Commandos and the Gorgonites should have been given a common enemy to take down together. A third-party enemy toy. Not make them attack human beings. I think that would have made for a much more focused movie, and also Small Soldiers probably would not have received a PG-13 rating and would have gotten a PG rating. And as I mentioned earlier, I think the part where the toys turn into psychopaths out for human blood was the part that was most scary and would have given me personally nightmares as a kid. And that is how I believe that Small Soldiers got their PG-13 rating, was through all this unnecessary psychopathy. And if the only battles that occurred had been battles between the toys, I really think that would have brought down the rating to PG. One more thing I wanted to mention about the story of Small Soldiers, or more specifically about the script of Small Soldiers, is that the dialogue within this movie was terrible, and there were numerous inconsistencies in the movie. That is what I mean when I say that the script was half-baked. There were lines in the movie that were just plain stupid, like when Alan's dad said this line, "I think it was very honest that you told the truth." Wow. Way to express pride in your son by being redundant with your words, idiot. There were so many lines like that throughout Small Soldiers, and some of them were even more cringeworthy than that. There were 4 people who worked on this script together, and it shocks me that none of them called each other out on how stupid the lines were. If they had taken a bit more time to work on this and just made a few more changes to the script of Small Soldiers, then it could have been a lot better. And I'm not saying that this script is entirely worthless. There were a lot of lines in the movie that I did like. Like when the Commandos were introducing themselves and one of them said, "Demolition is my mission." Now that's just one example, but I did think that other than that, they came up with some really good lines throughout the movie, most of which were usually said by the Commandos. And I think that those lines were really well worded and said perfectly. There's not much to be said or remembered about Small Soldiers. The movie is not good at all. For what it was worth, I thought Small Soldiers was enjoyable, if for no other reason than I finally got the chance to see a movie that I couldn't see as a kid. Small Soldiers gets 2 stars out of 5.